whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Of an American icon, Bill Cosby. In the mid-1980s, there was not a star that was higher than Cosby. Advertisements with Coca-Cola, Jell-O, Kodak, along with the #1 television show for 5 straight years in a row. On Thursday nights, it was must-see TV on NBC. Cosby resurrected the genre of the traditional family sitcom that was once thought dead by television critics. He did this as a Black American with an all-Black cast and showed mainstream network executives in white America that it was possible to be successful without showing the worst in people. He also demonstrated the power that television had, as it can make younger people dream to be the best that they can be. However, like many celebrity stars, unfortunately, they all come crashing down, sometimes by their own fault, others not so much. In this book, I attempted to highlight certain things. We go in depth into both of his trials in 2017 and 2018, respectively. What if I told you that these criminal trials were politically motivated by an overzealous district attorney? Will you also be shocked to learn the attacks on Mr. Cosby did not start in 2014, but also in the 90s, not long after his attempted quest to purchase a major network? From where did all of these allegations of sexual misconduct come from? Were the accusers telling the truth? In the 2 years of research, with some help from others interested in learning the truth and facts about this case, we discussed both the legal reasons why his prosecution and trial were illegal, unwarranted, and also the possible personal motives as to why this may have occurred. Most importantly, we warn about the dangers of prejudice and why trial by social media, or mainstream media rather, should never be the norm. All this and more in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in America. Available on Amazon this fall in Kindle and paperback format. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States is available now on Kindle, ladies and gentlemen. I am Gavin Richard. Welcome to Gavin Richard Presents here on channel gboot2786 on Gavin Richard, as well as our Facebook channel and on Twitter. Wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. We're going to get started, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to discuss the following. A 100-year-old veteran breaks down on TV during Independence Day, saying this is not the country that he died for, that his people had died for. Grambling volleyball coach gets bounced, and we also have the media. Are they protecting the accused Highland Park killer? All this and more, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started right now. Just give me one moment. In the meantime, I would ask for you all to smash up the likes. Give me a thumbs up if you are not new to this channel. I want to thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what's up? You know, I normally do my get on up theme, but I want to move off it because today, because I don't want to get another copyright strike. And on top of that, I am in a little rush to do some stuff. So I'm gonna try and keep this live stream a little brief. But let's go ahead and talk about it. And I don't have a particular order, but I guess this would take the news. I put here is the media helping the accused Highland Park killer. Now, of course, on yesterday, 4th of July weekend, holiday was yesterday, and there was a parade in Highland Park, Illinois, which is outside of Chicago. And there was, unfortunately, 6 deaths and 25 people that were injured in a mass shooting that took place there. And the accuser is none other than this man named Robert Crino III. Now, authorities have stated that Crino, dressed in women's clothing, said he wore a disguise during the shooting, I guess, to apparently and allegedly get away. Crino, by the way, was apprehended unharmed and was actually handcuffed, taken into custody. Now, it says here he will be charged with additional charges in the shooting spree that I thought it was 6, but now it says it killed 7 and injured dozens of others on Monday, Illinois officials said. Apparently, he's going to be charged with 7 counts of first-degree murder in the killing spree, and they stated in this report that Crino, whom police picked up hours after the rampage, scaled a fire escape ladder to make himself a sniper's nest to fire on parade goers below, authorities had said. Now, there's actually some footage of, you see there, it appears allegedly of Crino walking, I don't know exactly where, but he's wearing, you see, looks like he has a blouse on, I'm not sure, and some gloves. But I wrote, isn't it look like that they were protecting Robert Crino? Now, this is coming from Highland Park Police, and I'm going to show you why I said that. But I want
based on where we're at this point in the investigation, and some of this is still preliminary, so is subject to change as we keep moving forward. But we do believe Crino pre-planned this attack for several weeks. He brought a high-powered rifle to this parade. He accessed the roof of a business via a fire escape ladder and began opening fire on the innocent Independence Day celebration goers. The rifle was purchased in Illinois, and the information we have thus far is that it appears to have been purchased legally by Crino. During the attack, Crino was dressed in women's clothing, and investigators do believe he did this to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity and help him during the escape with the other people who were fleeing the chaos. During the attack, we believe that Crino fired more than 70 rounds from this rifle into the crowd of innocent people. Following the attack, Crino exited the roof, he dropped his rifle, and he blended in with the crowd, and he escaped. He walked to his mother's home, who lived in the area, and he blended right in with everybody else as they were running around, almost as he was an innocent spectator as well. He borrowed his mother's vehicle. We issued an alert yesterday afternoon. Chief Jogman provided the vehicle information and Crino's information. We're very thankful that an alert member of the community saw Crino's vehicle traveling southbound on Route 41, dialed 911. An alert North Chicago police officer spotted the vehicle, waited for additional backup units to arrive, conducted a traffic stop, and they were able to safely apprehend Crino with no injuries to the officers. Inside the vehicle, there was a second rifle located. Indications is that was purchased by Crino as well. Thus far, over 30 people were injured during the attack, and this does not include the 6 who lost their lives. Right now, Crino remains in custody at this time. There are no indications that there was anybody else involved in this attack. By all indications, it appears Crino was acting by himself. The Lake County State's Attorney's Office has been with us from the ground level. They're with us this morning. They were with us through the night. We continue to review the information. Investigators are still developing leads and very critical information. Once we're at a point where we're ready to review all of that information for charges, we will sit down with the state's attorney and review for criminal charges.
For more on this, we're joined by NBC News correspondent for investigations, Tom Winter. Tom, thanks for being with us. So let's talk through what's next here. We know now.
Okay, so that was MSNBC News. Of course, they have video footage of the incident where people are running for their lives when they see this incident happen. And of course, they like to say always when there's violence in Black community, when there's violence with us, you know, the kids in Chicago, they got to bring up the kids in Chicago. What happened in Chicago? This was not in Chicago, and this was not Black students. This was certainly not Black people doing this, by no means. Now, this is the actual footage. So you can hear them shooting, and I saw the security guards running in the direction. You saw a lot of people fleeing. They've had different photographs and videos of this incident that took place, guys. But I wanted to, for purposes of my topic right quick, just for a few minutes, I want to show you all something. I want y'all to look at this. This is the Google video I have here, a Google search engine. The results I have posted here. Now, when you type in Highland Park shooter, this is what comes up on Google Images. You notice that this is all you see. You don't see pictures of the man. Of course, you may see pictures right here, but there's absolutely none. But if I type in Robert Crino III, even if I did that, this is what I get. This is what you get. You get one picture. Now, you could type in multiple people. You could type in different, I could type in different people, and I haven't even tried this, so I might have it on my face, but I'm guaranteeing you, if I did, let's see, the brother who was shot in Akron, Ohio, Jalen Walker, you see all pictures of Jalen Walker here. You see him there, you see him there, right here, right there, 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 there. But not one of this alleged shooter. Well, I shouldn't say not one, but one, and that's it. And it's as if the entire internet, or the people who run Google, and I know, yes, Google runs YouTube, have scratched this man off the face of a search engine. Now, nothing on the internet truly dies. Y'all know this. Why is this up there? Why is this? Why are there no more pictures of this man? What is being scrubbed? And that's not just me that has noticed this. A lot of people, shout out to Queen Shakur, she said she talked about it. Some things that were posted were removed. I believe Willie D even talked about it. Tariq Nasheed, a few others that talked about it. You can have, now maybe if you go here, I haven't gone here, you may see a picture of him. I believe this has got to be a driver's license photograph, because when he was taken into, before he was even taken into custody, I had seen this picture. Now this is video of the arrest. He wasn't shot, by the way.
It's a shooter. Yeah.
I don't understand that, Danielle. But notice he was taken in uninjured, and I'm pretty sure. Well, they took Dylan Roof to Burger King. They couldn't take him. They would have taken him to Chick-fil-A, but it was closed on a holiday. So I imagine they probably took him to Checkers. They always open rallies. We call it rallies out here, but Checkers, I know that's in Atlanta and other places up north. They'll cheat. They're open every day. They may close Christmas Day and open up like at 12 o'clock at night or 11:59. So they don't close truly. But I'm looking at that. You said check. Okay, the search engine, DuckDuck and DuckDuckGo and Brave. Okay, I'll probably look like I'll take a look at it a little bit later. But but Google is supposed to be, or it is the largest search engine, I think. You can search the web without being tracked, according to DuckDuckGo. But yeah, Google is a large search engine. I think one of the largest, although yes, it's the internet, but obviously it's got the most money and power. Now they do have his information, even on the FBI report. So he's not. I don't even see his image, for the FBI, because this was an act. Could call it an act of terrorism. Now, of course, it was still a state crime. The local authorities get involved. Let's go to the Chicago Tribune. Is he even present? Now, this is from July 4th. So this is a picture of him here. Like a freaking college dropout. He's been spotted, I should say, at some, according to reports, at some MAGA events, from what I've heard and gathered. But again, he's innocent till proven guilty. I don't know. We can only go by what we've seen and what the reports we get. But we'll continue monitoring this story. But just keep the game that Google did. That's the thing that disturbed me when I saw this. So we'll move on now. But my thoughts and prayers for people in Chicago, in Highland Park, that were killed. Guys, don't let them fool you too. This is not about weapons either. They're going to make it about firearms and so forth. Illinois actually has one of the toughest gun laws in the nation. Chicago, Washington, D.C., cities like Chicago, cities like in a district like Washington, D.C., which is in the District of Columbia, they have the toughest gun laws than any other state, and yet they have some of the highest crime and murder rates in their cities. So this is not about guns. Don't let them fool you and try and do that and get some sympathy out of you. All right. Now, to give up your rights. Now, this next story I want to talk about, this piqued my interest. This is a 100-year-old World War II veteran, a Marine, who broke down crying on Independence Day about this nation. And he's the country that he and his comrades fought for during World War II. Because I don't know if you know, but the oldest, I believe, the oldest living Medal of Honor recipient passed away from World War II at 98 years old. Is said to be lying in state, I believe, this week. But you have this gentleman. You can see the awards, the awards he won for his service. His name is Mr. Herschel Woody. Excuse me. His name is Mr. Marine Carl Sperlin Deckel, United States Marine Corps. And he said serving his country in World War II was the most important thing he ever did. However, he regrets that the U.S. has slipped away from what he remembers. He says people don't realize what they have. The things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all going down the drain. Now let's listen to what he has to say. I haven't listened to it.
I've had a lot of happiness, smiling, telling everybody that everything was beautiful every day. If I went into my church and didn't say everything was beautiful, they'd think I was sick. And I'm not that way. I mean, I sincerely believe in this old world that everything is beautiful. I mean, if I wake up in the morning and see these plants out here and all those flowers that are in there and the green grass on the ground, that's beautiful. And people don't realize what they have. They bitch about it. And then nowadays, I am so upset that the things we did and the things we fought for and the boys that died for it, it's all gone down the drain. Our country's gone to hell in a handbasket. We haven't got the country we had when I was raised. Not at all. Nobody will have the fun I had. Nobody will have the opportunity I had. It's just not the same. That's not what our boys, that's not what they died for. It's just not it. Darling, I'm so sorry. I'll be all right. Just takes me time to get over it. Why me? See, sitting here like this, see, all this going on. Listen, it's just, Emily, it's just not the same. That isn't what we fought for. Oh, well, I should be worried about it, I guess. I'm 100 years old, they say.
That one will be
I'm
my
not,
fight.
I worry about it. Yes, I worry.
That will be my fight. Yeah. For sure.
Well, okay, you just remember everything's beautiful, and live every day to the fullest. Just enjoy everything you possibly can.
He probably didn't. That was Carl Duplin, World War II Marine. Let me say this: I have respect for all our veterans, and men like him have seen the brutality of war. But so have my grandfathers. Both of my grandfathers served in World War II, respectively, in the Army and in the Navy. My father's father was in the Navy. He flew aircrafts even when they didn't allow blacks to do it because his crew members loved him so much. Sometimes they would fly shipping supplies from the Pacific to New Orleans and so forth. You know, New Orleans was actually where the Higgins boats, the PT boats that you saw storming Normandy Beach in World War II, they were made here. And They were made by a man named Higgins. He designed all of that at Higgins Shipyard, which is right there on France Road in not far from my home. You had my grandfather who fought in the Army, respectively, was a tech sergeant, staff sergeant, excuse me. And my grandfather has tons of awards. I've shown you all these when we were honoring Memorial Day a couple of years ago, and I showed you all the awards that my granddaddy won, like European Campaign, uh, you know, a World War II medal, all of these medals he won. And yet, when both of my grandfathers returned back to normal, back to, well, it wasn't really normal because Black people were not considered human beings. We were not considered even, I wouldn't even call it second class citizens. I would call it uh, as not even treated as humans. You tell and talk to dogs, they treated dogs better than they treated Black people in those times. And Black Americans have been, you got to be honest, the most patriotic group of people in the United States in terms of veterans, our veterans, and fighting and dying for a country that truly didn't love them, that didn't actually support them when they had to, when they needed to. And to get back to what Mr. Carl Deckel said, I actually agree with him. This country is going down the drain, but it's been going down the drain for a long, long time. It's been set on autopilot that this plane is going to crash into a mountain soon. We just have not crashed just yet. We're heading in that direction. We're off the cliff, but we haven't hit rock bottom just yet. It's getting there. And you see that today with the lack of leadership that we have in our Congress, in our in our presidency, everywhere you go, in local offices as well, because our local politics, which affects you more, they have not done a fantastic job in how they run and treat their communities and neighborhoods. Our city council persons have failed. Our mayor has failed. Our sheriff's departments has failed. Our parents are failing. They're failing our children, our teachers. And I'm not saying all people are like this, but there's a problem in this nation and in this country where a kid is out playing hooky and robbing the elderly. And it's going to continue to go downhill until we all get some morality in our lives, until men man up and do what they have to do. And yes, I do believe America owes Black people a great deal. And I do believe in cutting the check. Absolutely. Do I think it's going to happen anytime soon? Maybe not by this administration, and certainly not in this Congress. Maybe some local places. I know California is acknowledging it as we speak now, but I'm not 100% sold on the liberal Democrats out in California. They're trying to make Black people the face of the failure of Roe v. Wade, the fall of Roe v. Wade. And let me say this, my grandfathers, and it wasn't just my grandfathers, my uncles, my great uncles served in the United States Army Air Corps, as well as the Army. I have family members that have been in the Navy, the Marines, Army Reserves. I've even told you all the story that I was trying to enlist one time as a JAG officer. Now, people will say, why would you fight for a country that never died for you? Why would you suit up? Why would you do that? Well, it's still my home. It's still my country. Remember, as we are foundational Black Americans, we built this country from the ground up. We were here before anybody else. And I see it that I have more right to it than anyone. But also another reason too is because I'm trying to pay off them student loans. But which is why a lot of people get into doing that. They feel it'll be and then if they want to go into politics, you have that on your record. It makes it look good. And plus, yeah, they help you essentially move and buy a home and so forth. That's why some people do it. But times were different from when Mr. Jekyll was a young man, and my grandfather. They didn't have the stuff that we have to deal with today, and the rules and things that have been set in place. To just the times have changed. Even to go to school, going to school was actually a way to get out of the military. You know, if you were going to college, you didn't have to. You weren't going to be drafted necessarily to go to war. Nowadays, kids go to college in the Army and Marines. They'll pay for their school. I mean, they did it back then with GI Bills after they left service. But nowadays, people do that, and they serve and they go back to school to try and get something of themselves, to buy homes, because that helps as well. But that's why people do it. But this country is all. I'm sorry, Mr. Deckel, and I thank you for your service, though. I truly do. But this country is going to hell. Has been going to hell in the handbasket for a long, long time, and I get it. At 100 years old, the time has passed him, and is not what he remembers when he was a kid growing up. But yeah, it is interesting. What does he think of the segregated barracks? Did he have anything to say? Who knows? He could have been the nice guy in Men of Honor when Carl Brashear was in the Navy. I don't know. Could have been. Who knows? Truman was the president that dissolved the segregation in the Army and the military, respectively, if y'all remember. All right, this is my final topic I wanted to talk about. So I'm not going to be too long with this, but you all may remember this story about this Grambling coach out for the volleyball team. She has been bounced out, Chelsea Lucas, after looking at an internal investigation. They have fired her. Now, I don't know all the details that have come out, but here is the latest article or story on Chelsea Lucas's firing.
Thank you for joining us at your weather station. I'm Chris Emergent.
And I'm Christina Jensen. Our top story at 5, 3 months after a shocking decision left their team with 0 roster players. Grambling State has made a decision on the fate of their head coach.
NBC 10's Stephen Pappas on campus with more.
Grambling State Athletics announcing on Tuesday that they have fired head volleyball coach Chelsea Lucas after a short and tumultuous time with the university. You got to remember, all the way back in April, Lucas cut the entire 19-player roster that suited up for the 2021 team, leaving the outgoing players 4 months to find a new program. Fast forward now 3 months, and Lucas is also out of a job following an internal investigation done by the school, with no further details coming out at this time. The school announced as well on Tuesday that a national coaching search is underway. Grambling Athletic Director Rick Scott announcing that all volleyball student athletes that receive scholarships for the 2022-23 season will keep scholarships this year and remain on the team, with walk-ons continuing to hold their roster spot. Now, the season will begin in late August, so the Tigers have just under 2 months to find a new replacement. Reporting at Grambling State University for your weather station, I'm Stephen Pappas.
Chelsea Lucas, a.k.a. Beyonce, she's Beyonce's sister, Beyonce with all that damn blonde hair, was fired because apparently after an internal investigation, now they don't release any details, but after an internal investigation, they apparently found out that something that bothered them, although I think a lot of people were bothered by the way she handled the Grambling State women's volleyball team roster. Now, if you remember, she actually fired, I shouldn't say fired, she cut the entire roster for Grambling State University. At least 95% of those students were looking for new homes. They were left scrambling because they had scholarships that were giving to them, scholarships that were given to them to come. And because, and they moved from their homes, you got to keep in mind, they moved from their homes. They had to live on the dorm, in the dormitories there at Grambling, living there, also paying for their food and so forth. They get asked from the volleyball team. They have no scholarship. They have no way to pay for school. So they actually had to leave. Now, this was an article from back in April when this happened. This was a few months ago. So Grambling moved quickly. Well, I shouldn't say quickly necessarily, but they moved pretty swiftly, yeah, because they didn't even complete the investigation as of yet. They just outright fired her. Well, look at the movie The 24th, by the way, Darius. That was shot about the 24th infantry in Houston. But yeah, she cut the entire team. Now, this is coming from ABC 13 out in Houston. Remember this story. This is just so everybody can remember what happened, although I refreshed you, but this is a video of what happened. And this is some of the students who were complaining about the coach and what she did.
Left scrambling after what's being called an unprecedented but legal house cleaning move.
Yes, ABC 13's Adam Winkler has been working this story all day. And Adam, help folks understand what has happened here with these girls.
Eric, Gina, let's start here. Take a look at this. It's an internet error message. We've all seen it, right? This comes up when you click on the roster for the Grambling State University volleyball team, a squad that features 4 players from the Houston area. See, Grambling's recently hired head coach cut more than half the team's scholarship players and told incoming recruits their commitments will not be honored. The school's athletic director says coaches are empowered to make decisions they deem necessary to advance their programs, just like players are able to transfer schools. And a university spokesman tells ABC 13 previous reports of all players being cut, those are inaccurate. Marisa Harris, an Elkins High School product, is one of the 4 players from our area who were told their scholarships would not be renewed by new head coach Chelsea Lewis. So the players were not technically cut, but if they stick around, they're on their own. Via Zoom, I chat with college sports expert Dr. Karen Weaver, a former NCAA head coach and administrator who currently works at Penn. My questions, is this legal and is this right?
It sounds like they were doing 1 year annually renewable. So yes, in terms of the NCAA world, that is legal. You still have an obligation to tie your athletes back to the institution and not just think of them as property that can be, pushed off and pushed on.
Candy Harris, mother of Houston's Marisa Harris, tells ABC 13 this situation has caused stress both financially and mentally. Her statement closes with, quote, "These student athletes had been mistreated by Coach Lucas and disrespected by the athletic department, and the fight will continue until justice is served." Eric Gino, another head-scratching aspect of the saga. Coach Chelsea Lewis, who is cleaning house at Grambling, she's doing so at her alma mater. She played and graduated from Grambling in 2007.
Yeah, and as you guys know, I have a would-be college athlete myself. Yeah. And so I understand you don't have 4-year scholarships. They don't exist.
They are year to year. And institutions have a choice to give 4 years, but most go year to year because, again, they're constantly rebuilding. So it's a tough situation so late in this game, too. It's April. The semester ends in May.
To find another school.
She wants to bring in her own players. She's evaluated and she feels can help the team get better.
And she told the players they can stay. They're just not being paid.
If you pay for your own way, yeah.
It's tough either way. It sure is.
Business.
All right, Adam, thanks a lot.
Yeah, it's a tough business. It's cold business. Why her ass is out now. That's a spike. Chelsea got spiked. That's the volleyball term. And they're correct. Yes, from a legal perspective, NCAA perspective, there was nothing wrong with what she did. Coaches have a right to replace their players if they need be. They can cut people. People get cut all the time, but you cut 95% of the volleyball team and you were just coming in as the coach. You hadn't started really to prove yourself yet. And you told those players, if you want to stay, you can stay, but it's got to come out of your pocket. I mean, at first I thought, well, Grambling's team, I don't know if they suck or not. It is it's Grambling. I gotta troll y'all. I'm wearing the blue and yellow right now. Go Jags. She got aced. Exactly. They served her up and aced her ass out. A solid spike. Match point. Shawty said, "I'm blind and I say so." I saw her with her dreads. They had a picture of her with her dreads. You know, Darius. She's not a bad looking woman. But they obviously didn't like what they saw. And I'm going to play one more news article. So this was about 4 hours ago. I'm just going to read this. Lucas actually responded to this decision. Since I started at Grambling, I have been ordered not to speak to the media. My voice has unfortunately been silenced despite the rumors and accusations about me. As a result, I have not been able to provide my side of the story about the many events that have occurred during my tenure as head volleyball coach at Grambling. I was told without notice or any opportunity for discussion that I was being terminated. When I asked why I was being terminated, the administration was not able to provide me any details about why they decided to fire me. The determination came just days after I had requested and then had a meeting with the president to discuss the way I had been treated in recent weeks by the athletic director. The AD, without my knowing in advance, was invited to this meeting with the president. The AD was visibly upset with my complaints during my meeting with the president, and today I was informed that he was the one who recommended my termination. I'll be working with my attorney to prepare a response and believe that my side of the story will demonstrate that what happened to me today was not right or just. Now, Dr. Travian Scott, the president of Intercollegiate Athletics for GSU, said the success of student athletes and their ability to matriculate at Grambling State University is the top priority. As we move forward in this transition and commence a national search for the next coach, all volleyball student athletes who receive scholarships for the 2022-2023 academic year will keep their scholarships and remain on the team. Walk-ons will also continue to hold their roster spot. The university is actually looking for a new coach in a nationwide search. Grambling President Rick Gallard also said it is the responsibility of the institution to make sure that the student athletes are afforded opportunities in a manner compliant with all regulatory organizations. That applies to athletics as much as it does to academics. So remember, she just started this job, so I don't know, but for her to come in and cut the entire team, new sheriff in town and a new sheriff out of town. She cuts the entire team without warning. Now, this is what was reported. Now, she's saying there's more to the story and her attorney's going to get involved. I believe that these coaches, athletes, they are hired. I mean, in Louisiana, it's a work for hire thing. You can be hired and you can be fired for any reason except, of course, a civil rights statute that's violated. However, if you have a contract, and I'm sure like a lot of coaches, they have a contract agreement that they sign, it may be a little different. When there's a contract involved, it's not easy to break. But I look at this, Miss Lucas, Eonce. I thought that this was interesting to say the least. That she's the new sheriff. Yeah, like Darius said, she's the new sheriff in town and she's the new sheriff headed out of town. And I never applaud anybody's termination, anybody's firing, because I know what that's like. That's not a pleasant feeling. That is not a pleasant feeling to be fired. But neither is it to be cut. To be cut is not a pleasant feeling either. And I think that she um, exceeded her authority with that. But she says there's more to the story. Did the Grambling athletic director force her to cut those kids so that they couldn't get their scholarships? I don't know. I know you like to think your shit don't stink, but lean a little bit closer and your roses really smell like boo boo. Yeah, roses really smell like boo boo. I, I, I know you like to think your don't stink, but lean a little bit closer. See that Chelsea Lucas out like woo 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 woo. No man, I wanted you said I wanted the athletic department cut. You mean if you wondered if the athletic department cut their scholarships and just she was just going following orders? Yeah, that could be. You know what? I could be wrong. She probably could out. Yeah, shout out to Outcasts. Just playing. I'm just playing, Chelsea. Need a golden calculator to divide. Chelsea line. Chelsea Lucas, she's the kind of woman that'll cut her whole team. Which she need a golden calculator to divide and do and she'll spike them in the ditch. Just playing. Let me stop. But what do y'all think of this story? I'm actually putting a trail. Do you think there's more to the story? I'm actually putting it in the chat on the Gboot channel. Okay, so YouTube has actually just messed up my channel because as I'm looking now at my username and I switch accounts, if you go to the Gavin Richard page with my full name, the poll is available. But when I switch it to just the Gavin Richard, the Gboot 2786 account, my poll is not available. My polls actually were on the Gboot 2786 account, obviously for several reasons, including the fact that I have most of my subscribers on there. You all are subscribed and watch this channel through Gboot 2786. So YouTube is already with the bull. Well, they've been with the bull. They already did some more bull, Fraganackle bull. So I want you all, yes or no, go to the Gavin Richard page and let me know if you think she should have been fired. Some say she was a fall guy. Could be. I mean, look, there's corruption everywhere, but I always think there's two sides to the story. I'd be interested in hearing what she has to say. I'd like to know what she was thinking when she cut those kids. Well, I'm already, and I was going to talk about this. I got to run, but I'm already looking at other places because I'm tired of YouTube. And it's not just YouTube, but Facebook as well, because Facebook has been hitting me with bogus copyright strikes too. So it's not just YouTube that's doing this, it's everybody. But you all be safe and be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. Go to NawniesCreoleBlends.com. Guys, try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. NawniesCreoleBlends.com. I've had some people that actually saw my website, and I know some people saw the commercial that I did. I shot at home to promote Nawnies Creole Blends. That's on the IG page. If you like to advertise, of course, you can email me at gavin.grich1@gmail.com. There we have the at Commonwealth Cause. The book is available on Amazon right now. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby Jr., The Destruction of Due Process in the United States. Please, if you want to support me, go to the ticker at the bottom. And I would ask you all to donate to the Cash App, the PayPal, and Google Pay, since this channel is not monetized. And support a brother. Support me. You can also go to the Patreon to support me. But NawniesCreoleBlends.com, order you some Creole seasoning blend, please. As a matter of fact, before I leave, I'm going to just play the little commercial I shot with my baby cousins, who, shout out to them. I need you to go to Gavin Richard on YouTube, guys. My full name, Gavin, Gavin, Richard, Richard. Subscribe to that channel when you go there. And I want you to go to the poll. I got one person who voted saying, yes, she deserved to be fired. But go to that, because if YouTube is gonna do some shit, we're gonna fuck around. We're gonna rise above it. Could be. Oh, I'm thinking of making a Thanksgiving. For Thanksgiving, we're actually going to be looking at making an injectable for Nawnies. We're seriously going to be looking into that. So be on the lookout for that. But I want to play this as I will get off, ladies and gentlemen. The little commercial that I did, I shot. It was just straight from home. My little cousin actually directed it. So shout out to you, Haley. So hold on one second. I'm trying to. I found it. Put the fried chicken. All right, so we just fried the chicken. We put the fried the chicken with some Nawnies. We added some Nawnies Creole blends, as y'all saw earlier. And Dad is shouting out, Dad, how was it? It goes great, obviously. That's what he said. So that's Nawnies Creole Blends. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to our website, Nawnies, Nonis, CreoleBlends.com. NONISCREOLEBLENDS.com, ladies and gentlemen. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. Oh, I can smell it right there. Yeah. Go ahead. You know how to do it, Neil. Anyway, guys, try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. Go to NawniesCreoleBlends.com and order you some Nawnies Creole Blends, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 4th of July. Oh, we're going to try some more. Can't wait for the burgers. So. All right, so we just fried the chicken, and we put the fried the chicken with some Nawnies. We added some Nawnies Creole Blends, as y'all saw earlier. And Dad is shouting out, Dad, how was it? It goes great, obviously. That's what he said. So that's Nawnies Creole Blends. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go to our website, Nawnies, NONIS, CreoleBlends.com. NONISCREOLEBLENDS.com, ladies and gentlemen. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. Oh, I can smell it right there. Go ahead. You know how to do it, Neil. Anyway, guys, try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. Go to NawniesCreoleBlends.com and order you some Nawnies Creole Blends, ladies and gentlemen. Happy 4th of July. Yeah, so that's all I had. That's all I had, man. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. I'm glad you got your seasonings. They're good. I hope you used it for your barbecue. Computer Robots, tell me about the book. I need you all to, if you have not purchased the book, please go to Amazon.com and purchase The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby by me. I need to, you all to write a review for it. If you've been reading it, please purchase it. All right, this took 2.5 years. That's another way you can support me, by buying this book, ladies and gentlemen. I need you to read it. Tell me what you think about it. I'm pushing this real good. All right, guys, I'm on my way out of here. Hit that. I'll see y'all Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll holla. Peace.